All right, and we're live. Welcome to the Writer's Life, where you get the sight, sound, smell, taste of my particular writer's life, and where you get the truth about the writer's life. So subscribe if you haven't already. Punch the like button and the bell for notifications so that you do not miss out on one exciting video. What is this? New managing moderators can support your channel. I don't know what that means. It's a note. I thought it could have been one of those warnings. You're not woke enough or something, Anyway, day 3 of my recovery. I actually managed to, I'm all black and blued here. And from the incision in my mouth and all that. So, but it's getting there. But I'm not doing this again. I didn't expect it to be like this. I thought it'd be like a pulled tooth. You'd be good in a few hours and you could be at the bar. I guess it's fairly major surgery. Well, I don't know. I guess it is. Maybe. Kind of reminds me of like when I had my comprehensive foot surgery. That had me down and out for like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. Anyway, but I'll be back pretty much to normal next week. So anyway, nobody cares. All right. So the second question that I'm answering for this gentleman, this reporter for ITW, the Big Thrill. Why do I choose? He asks me why I've gone the self-publishing independent route. That's not entirely accurate because I'm a hybrid publisher. I publish both traditionally and independently. For instance, this week alone, Down and Out Books put out Moonlight Runs, right? I know I have a copy of it somewhere. Moonlight Runs. No, not Moonlight Runs. They put out Quietly Into the Night. A few weeks ago, they put out Moonlight Runs. But they also put out Quietly Into the Night, my standalone. Holy shit, I'm confusing my books. You can't blame me, though. I've been through an operation. And also, today was the release of Young Chase Baker and the Well of the Souls. But it's funny. You might be like, well, aren't you like killing your audience, like by splitting them up that way? Actually, the audience for Moonlight Runs is probably a little bit different from the audience that likes Quietly Into the Night, which is more psychological suspense thriller. This is hard-boiled mystery detective fiction, and Young Chase Baker is young adult fiction, which can be enjoyed by anybody of all ages because it's PG. So it's kind of like 3 different audiences, but also some of the purists will read all of them, in one weekend. So no matter how fast I write, I have a few fans who just can't get enough, right? But the reason I now stress my Bear Media books is my independent publishing company is basically because of money. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in advances over the years, and sold well over 1 million books and the whole bit. But a lot of those books don't earn out their advance, but even when they do earn out their advances, you don't get a hell of a lot of money in terms of royalties after that, because the publisher takes the mother load, and then your agent takes his 15%, and then you owe whatever else to the government. You're left with like a paltry amount. But with independent publishing, I get like 70% minimum for every sale. So, just you can't beat it. So what's that like? So if a book is $3.99, you get $2.70 out of it, right? $2.70. So say I end up having 200 books over the course of the next couple of years. And what if I sell like on average 1 per day? That'd be like $500 a day or something like that. I don't know, whatever it would add up to. More than that, like $550 a day, and just times 30. Do the math. Now they're not all going to sell. Some are going to sell 10 copies, and some are going to sell 0 copies. But it'll average out to something that's really good. And also, I get to keep my intellectual property, which is huge. My children will keep that, and their children will keep that. Whereas a lot of the books that are traditionally published, that intellectual property is bye bye. Somebody else will use it for licensing, all sorts of stuff. So that's why I do it. That's the short answer. The answer I gave the reporter was a lot longer, a lot more intense. But I think it's important in this day and age to be both traditionally published and independently published. Simple as that. Be a hybrid author. That way, your options are open. Your books reach a much wider audience, and if one area is not doing so well, maybe the other areas will make up for it. So you never know. All right, I can hardly talk, so I'm going to cut this one short today. It's Friday. I hope you all have a great weekend. I got to do an Ask Me Anything as soon as I'm healed. Someone's chiming in. And before I chime off, let's see who this is. It's the Big Philly. I used to write erotica. Penthouse left, like Penthouse letters type stuff, and it sold like hotcakes. No advertising. One short story a day, maybe between $500 and $1,500 a month. Now imagine if you write mainstream. Get well, Big Philly. Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. That's an entire industry, Big Philly. You can make great money at that stuff. I mean, if you're willing to, or if you are willing to allow yourself to be prolific, which I think it's a matter of allowing yourself to be prolific, because some people just keep shining and rewriting until their voice is gone. You can make good money. You can make really good money in this business. So anyway, thanks for chiming in, Big Philly. I can hardly talk. I will catch you guys, if not tomorrow, then probably Sunday. Football's over. All right. Ciao, ciao.